You can't win. You can't win because your own side is against you. Okay, and I don't mean differences of opinion within a family or an organization. Organizations have to tolerate differing opinions or else they collapse. A house divided against itself can't stand, so you can't really rage against your own people. However, um, you're fighting, I'm talking to the leftists, you're fighting a war on two fronts. You are going against principle, and nature's seeking to judge you, convict you that you've planted your seeds in the wrong place. You've taken on the wrong hopes, and you've lived for the wrong um, form of utopia. So nature's coming for you. And then the second thing that you're fighting is that you're not satisfied with meek outcomes. You know, like uh, in communist Russia, religion was considered to be the opiate of the masses. That's an attempt to minimize lifestyles that are tethered to religion. Now, why was it depicted as an opiate of the masses? The answer is you can't have a revolution fought by disaffected people if religion is helping them digest circumstances in such a way that they're not going to be animated by a lack of this or a lack of that. In other words, you can't get people to be animated by a pessimism if religion kind of is upgrading or enlightening them or giving them a reason to have a better attitude, even though circumstances don't change. Okay, so the competitor taking all your would-be manpower in the communist revolution is people who are or ideologies that calm people down and get them to accept with gratitude the circumstances of life. Okay, so hey, everybody, we should be angry, but religions are telling these people to diffuse the anger and seek to resolve issues in life in a more optimistic ways, not like violent revolution and overthrowing this person, overthrowing the haves, right? So you're fighting the war that you have to employ violence. And almost every time communism is set up, but people from within the communist bloc are looking at a regime or a system that owes its existence to violence. So when they start to feel the squeeze of the poverty within the communism, they want more, and they're willing to be violent to do it. And the people in control, they know that the masses are not happy, and they use violence to protect themselves and keep the masses down. So you have to fight. You have to fight on that front. And then you're also fighting nature because nature is not actually anti-human, anti-success. Nature actually does choose to bring increase according to natural laws or principles. And so you're fighting nature, which is judging you from the outside, and you're fighting your own people who you took up arms with to overthrow the last ruler. You're fighting your own people because they're coming to overthrow you because that's what you taught them. So I tell you this: how many times do you have to run the experiment of communism before you repent? Now, the people who had been there and done that, maybe they repented, but they did not outlaw communism. It's sort of like, hey, this time when you leave hell, this 23rd time, shut the lights out when you leave and then close the door. Communism is in the process of being judged. You think, if you think that what the people are doing in Portland is like your last hope, is not your last hope. People rioting in Portland in the name of your ideology is not a hopeful thing for you. It's a dreadful thing for you because your nature is coming out. Okay, this is another way in which you're fighting a war on two different fronts. The people that you're in that mentality with are showing the world that you're crazy. Okay, so you think, oh, this is our last stand in Portland and all this kind of stuff. And actually, it's it's a pretty useful spectacle because guess what? You know what happened to the Communist Party as the Berlin Wall after the Berlin Wall? Um, During those days, communism was outlawed as a political philosophy. So um, that's why I think the Democrat Party is piecing out. It's going bye bye. So the stuff going on in Portland, it's pretty much sealing the deal for rational people. Rational people, loving people, were giving you the benefit of the doubt, but your own antics are actually dissolving that. So I think you're fighting a war on two fronts. You're fighting your own nature, as demonstrated by your own people of your philosophy, It was better when you guys were in the closet and hiding, but now that you're out in the open, you're going to get judged by the rational world. If the rational world would never see you, and you stayed hunkered down, hiding in your own little group, um, um, circle in the circle jerk, um, but you made the mistake of coming out from the recesses in the light, and you're going to be judged by rational people. And rational people are not going to allow you to continue to generate that kind of insane anti-American violence that is now taking a toll. So, it's just really interesting. I think, people are gasping, going, oh my God, what they're doing. And I'm like, maybe these are the type of things that has to happen for normal people to have a resolve against the Democrat Party and against leftism and against the university's status quo. I think the university status quo is not going to remain either. So Charlie Kirk gets shot on the university. All the leftists come out in the streets of Portland. Something's pretty visible. Something's pretty worrisome, and people are going to do something about it. Should have stayed in the closet.